about it, the biggest cover up in American history is happening right this second. But don't worry, the White House is on it. They are going to go after pedophiles. Play the clip.
And let me correct the record. Number one, the Trump administration has been clear from day one that any illegal alien present in this country is subject to deportation. However, the priority, of course, is going after the convicted criminals, the worst of the worst, the murderers, the pedophiles, the rapists in this country. Interestingly, in the
Okay, so obviously, Caroline, I would point you in the direction of Peter Thiel, immigrant.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, immigrant.
These are the most
all
dangerous.
Can go deep in the Epstein files.
And
Let's
the president.
turn our sights to Secretary of Commerce.
And the
Howard,
president.
Letnick, who pumps an eye from Ron Filipkowski, to be fair, calls him Howard Nutlick. And Howard Nutlick made a big stink about when he met Jeffrey Epstein in 2005. He thought he was gross and he's never going to have anything to do with him again. Let's revisit this feigned moral clarity and faux outrage. Play the clip.
You had a massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me. Ooh. And he says, and the right kind of massage. Ooh. Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the sixth...
I'm sorry, we have to go. Because, we are so much better than them. And that's disgusting. And I know how to talk to people in a way to make them think they are disgusting. And what I'm saying is true. I've never met Howard Letnick. I'm just doing a brief reenactment of how I find this kind of contemptuous liar lands in my system, in my sensibility. These are the predators, the ones who lie so believably straight to your face, and it's so believable. My wife was standing next to me, sure.
There are 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house. My wife and I decided
his house to my house.
Be in the room.
Number 11 and number 9.
Disgusting person ever again. So I was never in the room with him.
Okay, so that was he's talking about a meeting in 2005. He and his wife were disgusted, stomped out from his $1 million penthouse to their multi-million-dollar penthouse. But in 2012, after Jeffrey Epstein was a convicted pedophile, the wife of Howard Nutlick sends Jeffrey Epstein's assistant the following email. Put this up. She says, hi, Jeff. We are landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart's and Anguilla on Monday at some point. Where are you located? What is the exact location for my captain? Does Sunday evening for dinner sound good? I have another couple, Michael and Marcy Lehrman, with me on my boat, and each of us has 4 children, 2 16s, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, an 11, and a 7-year-old. Thanks, Howard. And I've seen conflicting reports that the wife sent the email, and I've also seen that Howard sent it. So this is something that has really sat with me, because how do you, as a parent, let your child knowingly around a pedophile, a sexual predator? What type of parent emails a convicted pedophile and gives the details of their children and their arrival and wants their children to go eat lunch with a pedophile? The moral rot in MAGA is something that I cannot put into words. It's both disturbing and angering, but there's something about that message about the children.
It's trafficking.
And giving their ages.
Yeah. It's trafficking.
That has sat with me
Yeah.
that what parent
Meet the kids.
knowingly sends their child to dine with a sexual predator? So much so that he
Unbelievable.
ran cover on it. He lied to the New York Post. But here he is yesterday in Congress, and Chris Van Hollen just tearing into him. Play this clip.
I think you understand the root of concern here. It's the way you described very emphatically your first encounter with him in his apartment, said you were disgusted, would never have any contact with him again. Did you in fact make the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's private island?
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies and my wife, all together. We were on family vacation. We were not apart. To suggest there was anything untoward about that in 2012, I don't recall why we did it, but
Mr. Secretary, again, as I said,
I'll tell you what's untoward about it is that he's a convicted pedophile at that time, and everybody knew it.
And you're naming the
knowingly,
kids' ages
and your wife
and how many
sends your
extras
kids
and
to
nannies.
Pedo Island, and then you lie about it to the American public, and then you sit and crack jokes when Donald Trump talks about it being a hoax. You stand behind him and just giggle, and you think it's a real knee slapper.
Oh, yeah.
You're a shitty parent. You're
These
a
are the
shitty person.
predators.
It
They think
shocks
it's funny.
the conscience. Yeah, that a parent can send their child and their children to dine with a sex offender. This is something I will never understand. It will never be normal to
Oh
me.
my God.
And he needs to resign. And I mean, honestly,
How
all
aren't
of
they
them do, but I think
arrested?
if we
What
can
the fuck
laser
is going
focus and get one
on?
of them to fall, we can keep probing to get the others to fall. It's just beyond the pale. It angers me to the core of my conscience.
Well, it's so shocking. And here's the thing, he's like, for you to insinuate, you were the one that went on an interview and talked about how disgusting Jeffrey Epstein was in 2005 and that you and your wife were disgusted and you would never go back.
Right,
The fact that he had so much arrogance that he would get on TV and say that, knowing that these emails had to be out there, tells me he knew the fix was in. He never thought these files would be released. He thought he could lie just like Donald Trump does and escape any accountability. It's disgusting. It's gross. And I hope their friends in their social circle are every bit as grossed out and shocked as we are. And I hope they become pariahs, because you do not do that to your children. It just doesn't, never.
They're probably in it. Their social
All right,
circle
listen up,
probably
listener.
is it.
The Trump administration has said that we cannot call them fascists. And the last time I checked, we still had a First Amendment. So naturally,
Wow, Jen,
I've
you're
been busy
beautiful.
writing a book called Not Today, Fascists: The Lies That Got Us Here and the Truths That Will Reunite Us. My book will publish on October 6th. And if you really want to give the administration the bird, go over and pre-order it wherever books are sold.
That's awesome, Jen.
It's beyond the pale. And then the other couple that went with him. I mean, it's just, it's such a shocking thing. But again, it makes sense that they're all friends. Donald Trump sexualizes his own daughter. You know, he talks about going into dressing rooms with teens. And men that do this type of thing have dehumanized children and human beings alike. They don't just, predate on women only. They've dehumanized a whole lot of them. And Donald Trump has been mentioned in the Epstein files per Jamie Raskin over 1 million times.
1 million times.
He was in on it. He's in on it up to his eyeballs. And a lot of people in Congress pumps are going to Justice, DOJ, and they're viewing and looking at unredacted stuff. And here is a montage of Congress people after they come out of these rooms seeing the real evidence that's unredacted. Play this clip.
Lots of names, lots of co-conspirators, and they're trafficking girls all across the world.
A bunch of sick fucks.
9-year-old victims. Initially, my reaction to all this was, I don't care, I don't know what the big deal is. But now, I see what the big deal is.
Pause it right there. Pause. Republican from Wyoming, 9-year-old. A 9-year-old victim. And this is what's so important that people have to understand about sexual predators. It doesn't stop with adults. They see the whole gamut available for exploitation. This shocks the conscience, and this is one of the largest cover-ups, active cover-up in American history for pedophiles. And all the people that support this get on their high horse
Oh my
and
God.
lecture us about their Christian values. Okay, continue with the clip.
Okay, they're so much better.
Yeah, 6 men's names. One of them's listed as a co-conspirator. Why would you redact his name?
I believe that there were tons of completely unnecessary redactions in addition to the failure to redact the names of victims.
Most of the unredacted files were redacted. 70-80% of the documents the DOJ got were redacted from the FBI. A lot of it was smoke and mirrors.
One was related to whether or not Trump had ever kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago, as he claimed. That is not true.
Some of the people that are in the most egregious redactions are claiming to be victims, and I don't think that they're victims if you're engaging in child sex trafficking.
Do you support any premise
no.
for Ghislaine Maxwell? She was saying that she
I do not. I think Ghislaine Maxwell should get more time, and she should definitely be in a harsher prison than what she's in. It's
my
absolutely
God.
disgusting.
What's your message to Pam Bondi after what you saw today? Need to do a little more work. This is bringing down the British government, and they bring down the British monarchy. It's bringing down countries and the elites across the country. What are we doing here in the United States to stand up to the Epstein class?
The Epstein
What we're
class.
doing here is the Trump
Palm
administration
Beach
is having a stage
Epstein
5 lockdown about
wannabes.
Bad Bunny. That's what they're doing. And he's being provocative.
They're
with,
everywhere.
Our allies.
Westport,
And then let me just
Epstein
throw you
wannabes.
Howard Netlick.
Long
what he's
Island
up
Epstein
to.
wannabes,
When he's
California
not
Epstein
dining with
wannabes,
pedophiles
they're
and
everywhere.
his children. Pop up this last story, Kylie.
What?
Lutnick was a primary force behind Trump's tariffs. He's been pushing them as he bets the other way. Another Jewish billionaire, hedge fund manager Paul Singer, is set to reap billions from Trump's invasion of Venezuela. This whole thing is a constructed criminal enterprise. So the kids that dined with the pedophile, now they're grown-ups. And Howard Lutnick's family is set to make billions when the Supreme Court strikes down Trump's tariffs. Cantor Fitzgerald, a financial services firm run by his 2 sons, has been quietly buying up the rights to tariff refunds for 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. So while they
Hold
are
on a
actively
second.
apart,
Nutlick's son is the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald. He's like 30-something years old. Are you kidding me? It was the main floor, one of the main floors that was hit by one of the planes when the towers were hit, 9/11, Cantor Fitzgerald. That's crazy. Yeah, 2 friends I went to high school with, maybe more, lost their lives that day. That is seriously nuts. It's Nutlick. It is seriously. These are the biggest crimes since 2008. No one gets away from this. And you can all thank your perversion, your superiority, your desperateness to become a billionaire, the shillionaire class. You had a handful of billionaires no one even knew about 5 years ago. Suddenly there's a billionaire class. Are you guys seriously rooting for billionaires? If you're out there and rooting for billionaires, you want an aristocracy? You want to be less? You think it's good to vote for a billionaire? In your heart of hearts? Absolutely not. You don't give the biggest douchebags with the least morals all the money in the room. You just don't do that. Just remember that. There you go.
Family, actively a part of a pedophile, sex trafficking, child rape ring.
To me, Lutnick looks like he's trafficking. When can we see you? My children are 14, whatever he gives all the ages. Who does that? He's like chumming the water. There are other emails on that chain. I wish they had included them because you could see that he's like sweating to get over there. And Epstein's like, hope you find me. I don't know. And I'm bringing my friends. I mean, he's trafficking. Lutnick should be arrested for trafficking. Why the fuck is that guy still walking around? What the hell is going on? Why the fuck is President Trump? Why does that word precede his name? On what grounds? Burial grounds?
To act with impunity. For parents to say, hey, we're bringing our kids over to the island. By the way, they're age 9 through 16, and there's 8 kids total. Sick as all get out.
That's right.
Now, this whole thing is a total shakedown. All of this tariff stuff, all of these people surrounding Trump are making billions upon billions of dollars, and they're using 250 years worth of American policy, fuck-ups, successes, all of this stuff. Not to make the country better, but to make pedophiles richer.
Yeah.
That's where we are in the United States right now.
That's right.
Well, and here's the thing about all of these people in these files. They are continuing to stay behind the curtains and continuing to escape accountability because Donald Trump is right in the middle of it and they can't hold him accountable. So DOJ is protecting all of this elite class. While also, I read that the tariffs have cost an American family $1,000. And yet billionaires have received billions of dollars in tax cuts. So it's like, not only are we going to protect them from their moral depravity, we're going to protect their pocketbooks, all at the expense of little girls and the working class. It is gross. These people should be shamed out of the world, but guess what? You cannot shame the shameless.
All right, that's all we have. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we will be back later with more news.
Thanks, guys. I'm sure I have more to say. And I'm sure you'll continue. Whoever you are. I just saw the Kardashian piece. We'll go over that next. With my own eyes, I saw Kourtney Kardashian driving past my house. With my own eyes. We'll see where she was that day. These people have ripped off everyone and anyone in our country that they could get their disgusting, greedy hands on. And it's a lot of us. A lot of us. Our silence is their only defense. I refuse to remain silent.